Hey guys, my name's Adam. I am the development director here at West Sound Youth for Christ in Western Washington, Kitsap Peninsula, west of Seattle, basically. And the reason I'm making this video to share with you is I sent a tool that I created that I've been working on since Institute in January, kind of playing with different prototypes and then coming up with this one I want to share with you. But I sent it to Joe Beckler, our YFC national marketing and communications expert, and he was trying to figure out ways that he can help info share during this time because a lot of you guys are coming up with some really great ideas. But I wanted to get on and share mine, contribute to the mix, and offer assistance if you'd like it. So who am I? I told you a little bit about that part. My background: I spent the first 10 years of my career in sales and sales management. Had a really good run. Started in the car business and started off really slowly. And then by 2004, I got up to a point where I was selling over 30 cars a month and earning a really good income at the time. And then I switched over to retail management, did 10 years of retail management, companies like Target and Starbucks, things like that. My bachelor's degree was actually in media arts and animation, and so I love software, creating things, painting, all sorts of art stuff. And then got my master's in business because I really love business as well. And 2016 felt my call to ministry and resigned from my management job at Target, and God's been on the move ever since. I'm here now, full-time position with YFC, and just like you guys, we're trying to figure out what's the best use of our time and how do we connect with donors, share our stories, and help people join our mission, our movement. So before I get into the nuts and bolts tactics, I want to just let you know that I try as much as I can to start with prayer in all of this and admit my dependence on God. And then after that, after my heart's set right, then I work as hard as I can, and I try to bring every one of the things I've ever learned into this because I don't think that there should be a real big wall up between secular and sacred type stuff. I think that God spent 20 years preparing me for this type of work in a very different way than seminary and that route. So I consider whatever God taught me to be sacred, and that it's created by Him and it's for Him. So I don't worry about that stuff too much. I don't let it get in the way. I trust that every skill and every tactic I know, as long as it's not manipulation, as long as it's helpful and helps us accomplish the mission, I think it's good. So I have no qualms about using it. I just want to put that out there because I know that seems to come up in conversation. Anyways, so I created a tool on Mailchimp for a see the story type experience. We did our live stream last night. Went out. It worked pretty well. We had 152 visitors watch that, and then after it ended, it went up to about 230 by the end of the evening. I don't know what it's at today, but it was good in terms of it lasted about 35 minutes, similar to your guys' Be the Story at National, and it was not flawless, but I think we did a good job. I think our team really spoke well and told good stories, and I think the response from the audience was good. So we definitely are not using the tool that I'm going to share with you to replace a group see the story. We still think that has a lot of value, but I did want to have a tool that I could use for individual contacting. Sorry about that. Anywho, overall strategy, we know that a lot of things fall into the mass communication bucket or the individual contacting bucket. In our mass communication bucket, we use all the normal stuff: email, snail mail, text blasts, website, social, Zoom. And then for individual communication, again, these aren't going to surprise you. Email, text, Messenger on Facebook, DM on Instagram, letters, cards, phone calls, Zoom, FaceTime. All the so same tools. The reason I feel like this tool is going to be helpful is that not everyone will be using Facebook, and they're not all going to be online at just the right time to catch our live stream of See the Story. So I wanted a tool that I could use for individual contacting, but that basically accomplishes the same goal. And I sort of told Joe about this at conference, and I know that the team had already been working, or at Institute in January, I know the team had already been working on one. But I wanted to share my version of that with you guys and explain it. But the goal is to be able to give my staff members who are not in development a tool that they could use to help engage their circles of influence, right? And it just boils down to being able to share a link. That's as simple as this is. So our goal as a chapter based in our area, we know that there's about 45,000 Christians in our territory, and our personal goal is to make contact with 10,000 of them and make sure at least 10,000 of the Christians in our area know about West Sound Youth for Christ. So we have our own circles of influence, but we are also counting on the power of share, right? So if they could share it with one person or two people that they know that we don't know, I think we can get to the 10,000 a lot faster. So here's what happens. It's Mailchimp. Mailchimp has a feature called the landing page, which is basically like a one-page website, and it's really easy to build. Their drag and drop editor is really, really simple. And then because National has really high quality content from the video side on Vimeo, you can just embed those videos into this or your own, and make it be anything you want it to be. You can change the flow. We have about 10 different landing pages that we use, but this one I'm showing you is basically the longest one that we have. And the reason it's so long is if you're a marketing guy and you understand a ClickFunnels, there's a lot of really highly successful, really long one-page scrolling websites, and they sort of look like this. And there's reasons why they look like this. I'm not gonna bore you, but it won't be for everybody, but it will be for some people, and you can use much shorter ones with other people. But this long one that we developed, what happens is there's a couple different ways. We've asked them, a couple calls to action to subscribe. And if they do subscribe, it does 4 things. The first thing it does for us is it automatically adds them to our Kindful account, which is our CRM tool. So that's helpful. It also starts an automated sequence inside of Mailchimp where they're going to get a few emails throughout 1 year, kind of spread out, not a lot. I don't want them to unsubscribe. So they're staggered well. There's not a ton of them, but it's this constant automated checking in. And then they should be receiving our monthly email blast, which we're calling a story letter as opposed to a newsletter. The reason we're calling it a story letter is it fits our brand and what we do really well. And it's gonna every one of them are filled with just stories of kids, and then it's got a lot of other. I'd say the other part of it is the news, like events or what have you, but different ways to engage different groups of people. Every one of the story letters has that. Several different calls to action. And then the fourth thing it does is it frees us up for individual contacting and relationship building, because in the background this machine is working for us, and it's just constantly sending stuff. It's all in the background. It's all automated. It's all designed for mass communication. And as they respond, I have 2 dogs. Sorry. as they respond, we can follow up with individual contacting emails, phone calls, etc. If we're in a spot where we're not getting a lot of contacting, we can initiate contact, and we can use this tool that I'm sharing with you. So it does a lot of stuff for us to basically build up the audience. And we're thinking that, like, if we could reach that 10,000 faster, we think 5,000 of them will probably pay attention. 2,000 of them will respond in some way or another. But we think about 1,000 will actually take action. And that'll be both. It's not just both. There's a lot of different ways that they can get involved. There's the money side from being a donor. There's the volunteer side. Those are the two big ones, I think. But the community support team is a thing. There's event staff. There's there's a million. You guys run chapters. You understand this. There's a million different ways that people can help other than the big two. And the one that everybody can do, all of them, they could all become a prayer partner and cover our chapter and our mission in prayer. So anyways, this tool's, it's just something to look at, and hopefully it inspires you to build something that works for you. I think there's no right and wrong answer here. We are all figuring out a day at a time, what people need from us and what they're going to respond to. And and it also ends with our dependence on God. I can work on this and send all this stuff out, make all these contacts, but if the Lord doesn't show up to help, it doesn't mean anything. So I think we all get that. If I can help you with any of this, if you want deeper explanation, or if you want help building your own or whatever, I'm willing to help. I'm spending my days coming up here using this thing and trying to get some results from it and see how it works out. So maybe in a month or so I'll post an update. But for now, I hope this helps. And if you have questions, you can email me anytime at adam@westsoundyfc.org, and I'd be happy to help you guys. God bless you. Thanks for letting me share.